Twisted mechanism in fire, we're going cold throttle, get a grip, we're supersonic, so buckle up.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of Project Perfume India. It's me Mohit here, and I'm really excited presenting you a new house which happens to be a niche house. First time ever in India. So this house has been making some noises around in US, UK, Dubai and internationally, because there are a lot of big names involved when I talk about this house. When I talk about big names, these are like big names in community. These guys have been, in the community from such a long time. Be it perfumers, there are reviewers as well, and there are industry people as well. So I'm talking about none other than Navitus Parfums. So if you guys have been following international reviewers, you would have seen this a lot of times, but it's first time on India, and I've been, kind of trying to get them since a long time, but now finally we are kickstarting 2022 with Navitus. So let's talk about this. So the presentation wise, it's absolutely top notch. It's a big box. If you see, it covers my entire hand. It's a big box out here. We open this, it comes in a leather case with gold foil on it. So now the whole production has been, if you look at it, it's been made in Dubai. So this kind of technology, cutting edge technology, can happen only in Dubai. So if you see this presentation, it's like 0-0. What does 0-0 means? That it's absolutely perfect, no error, no glitches. So this is like a fine craftsmanship. And if you look at the bottle, it sits perfectly inside. This is their Enamored collection, and this is called Elation. Now there is a reason I have picked up 5 fragrances to start with, because these 5 happens to be from my favorite perfumer of all time. So these 5 I'm talking about, starting with Elation. Then let me tell you about perfumers and how this house actually works. So this house have like multiple creative directors, and all the creative directors are influencers and reviewers from almost over a decade, right? And they have like huge following. So what gives them an advantage of being on the front line and taking what people are looking for, what people are liking more, so they read direct comments of what people are giving feedback on a fragrance, what they like in a fragrance, what they like in a house, performance, perfumer, etc, etc. So coming to the perfumer, so the perfumer happens to be a Fifi award winner perfumer, and his name is Bertrand Duchaufour, who's a French perfumer, and he is behind a lot of creation. If you have been reading about perfumes, niche perfumes, artisanal perfumes, Bertrand Duchaufour have been a renowned perfumer. So coming to it, he has been credited for creating masterpieces like Chypre Palatine by MDCI and a couple of more houses. I'll be including a link, a Wikipedia link to perfumer's profile in description below, as well as the Fragrantica link. Talking about this fragrance, it's called Elation. This has been made in collaboration with Chaos Fragrance, and this one is actually quite a nice freshie. Here it comes with these nice cards, and I find these cards really handy because it has all the information needed on it. So if you guys could see it, this one is a zesty fragrance. So what this, I've been testing these from quite a lot of time, in fact a week, because there are so many of them. So I wanted to present you the best which I like. Again, I've been in touch with you guys, so what you guys would like it. So Elation is definitely one of the charmers. So charmers, this reminds me, this initially gives you a nice yuzu blast. When I say yuzu blast, it's bergamot, lemon, yuzu. I would say this is the best citrus opening you would find in any fragrance at this price range. I'll be talking about price range later on as we move on. It comes in a elegant 100 ml bottle, which is quite heavy, and this one gives me this yuzu from Issey Miyake. That is it. Apart from that, this gives me a really fresh, creamy, ambergris vibe from it, and it is really clean. So I would say this is one of the best day fragrance or an office fragrance or a, something really uplifting that you would need. And this gives me good 8 hours on skin. These all are exterior parfums, and when I say that, that means these are between 22 to 25% of concentration. Now coming from, you know, when there is a team behind who has like immense experience and they are testing the fragrances out, it's really tough to please them. Sometimes in terms of notes, sometimes in terms of performance. So what I see here, these all blends are like blended to perfection because there are experts who are working on them, and there are reviewers who are actually pre-testing them before these come out to you. So definitely it's a good work done out here. I'm going to a second one quickly, again from the same perfumer, Bertrand Duchaufour, and this is called Verve Matin. This is also a freshie, and this happens to be my favorite from the house as well, along with Elation. So let's give it a sniff. The notes are pretty much similar, but what I would say why you should pick this up, if you love this ambroxa or ambergris from fragrances, this is very natural smelling ambergris note in it, and it's a freshie. So this all in all is like really nice, creamy, fresh, and this gives a really clean vibe from it, ambroxan. This does gives me a slight hint of Sauvage Elixir because that also has ambroxa, but this is nowhere, you know, something trying to be other fragrance. This is completely a unique fragrance on its own, and what I love about this one, that even after 4 or 5 hours, this definitely has sandalwood in its base. This gives me a nice sandalwood vibe, which I normally get from a lot of other niche scents. So this turns slightly woodier towards the base, while opening is sharp, fruity, and ambroxan. When I say sharp, once you spray it, you would definitely get it noticed. Being a freshie, this gives me similar to Elation, but this is like, you know, this is more detectable. This has this white floral element to it on this one, which you would tend to detect more, while this one blends with you, and both could be detected. They have like tons of notes in here, so these are definitely complex perfumes. So now going for the third one. Now third one happens to be, I mean, this is like something which I was looking for from a really long time. So this is called Lotus. So this comes in a blue bottle similar to a shade of Neroli, and the juice is like dark, so the juice itself gives it a shade, and this looks like bluish green. So this one is actually barbershop sort of. When I say barbershop, it's like fresh barbershop. So this gives it a nice creamy vibe in the opening, along with neroli oil. And if you are 80s powerhouse lovers, you have been digging scents from House of Guerlain, from House of like I'm talking about the older creation. So this is straight out like really niche quality of barbershop, fresh, chypre kind of. Chypre when I say, because this definitely has lavender in it, and it is very creamy. So it reminds me of one fragrance which is Tom Ford Japan Noir, and it is like one of the best. This is like fresher version of that, and this would remind you of Guerlain Heritage. This would remind you of slightly of Zeno Davidoff, but where Zeno Davidoff is a chemical mess, this is like really high quality version. And then another fragrance this would remind you of is Roja Danger, but Roja Danger, this is, I find it quite more potent than that. While that goes into more fern green vibe, this goes into more powdery lavender. So 10 on 10 for me. If you guys love these kind of fragrances, gentleman fragrances, this is a good work done. Absolute stunner. I'm done with 3. I have 2 more to show you. The next one I'll be showing you. All 3 we have seen till now have been freshies. This is called, I love these boxes, absolutely amazing for gifting as well. Soar exclusive. This is also from Edamort collection, and this one is actually a gourmand. So when I talk about notes, it's almond, blood orange coffee. We're talking about Soar exclusive. So marshmallow note is like what is the key note here, and it's very distinct here. Apart from that, it has vanilla, driftwood, and musk and oak moss. So pretty standard notes in the base, but what I get in the opening, this is a really I would say a very bright orange plus, you know, that gourmand feeling to it. and it's amazingly good. I mean, it's very comforting. I would say this is something which will get you noticed if you're wearing it in evening time or occasion, and this would get you noticed. So it's almond note along with the sweet orange cream sort of note, because of vanilla and orange gives you that combination, and this gives you an enormous projection and performance. Where I was talking about Freshie's giving you like 8 hours plus, this is 10 hours plus. And I mean, I love the bottle, and the fragrance itself is a really high quality juice in this line. And the next up, and the final one for this video, and this is something, if you love strong fragrances, you should get them. While I was showing you the new collection, all are like 100 ml bottle, this is a 50 ml bottle from the old collection. So this is the first, you know, the version when they came up with. So this one is a honey, tobacco, vanilla based scent, and this is like really thick, and again it's got gourmand vibe to it, and along with gourmand it's got like this strong notes which would remind you of, in the initial whiff, of Ojan by Parfums de Marly. It would remind you of Herod by Parfums de Marly, and it would remind you of Red Tobacco by Mancera. But while Red Tobacco is like average quality, with tobacco being, you know, borderline synthetic, this is like a very natural creamy tobacco with this bitter cherry kind of vibe to it. There is no bit cherry as a listed note, but you get this bitter tonka cherry sort of vibe. So this is like very masculine and strong, and these are on special deal on perfumery.co.in because these are discontinued. I don't think they're offering these 50 mls anymore. So this one you should get it. Coming to the price, so pricing has been, you know, they have been selling for about $195, which comes to 15,000 INR. What we are doing, they do run some sort of lot of promotions when they are launching fragrances. Like what I have seen, the offering is 40% at the maximum. That brings our pricing to about 9,500. But as a launch, we have varying prices from 5,999 starting for this one. 6,000 rupees for this kind of bottle presentation is absolutely no-brainer. You should grab these. We have limited bottles of Virtus 50 ml. Then comes they have their 100 ml newer collection, which is slightly lower in price. This is the key. I'm planning to take this in my next review. So this line is going for 74.99. So that's like 7,500 for 100 ml. Almost like a designer price. You guys buy Dior for a higher price, and here you are getting 100 ml juice. And these ones, their regular collection, are going for 8,000 to 10,000 for a 100 ml. Good thing is, you know, these are 100 ml, quite potent. These are an amazing gifting option if you are a fragrance lover who has been venturing into niche. Have been reading about a lot of perfumer, the work done by them, the reviewers. Do check this out. I haven't named the main guy behind it because I really didn't want it to be focusing on that aspect. But the house, the main guy behind this is Steven from Redolescence, who is like the second most watched YouTube reviewer on fragrances, which is a big thing in itself. But I wanted this video to be focusing more on fragrances, the perfumers who have worked behind them, the whole team that have worked behind it. And the last thing I would say, the main thing, if you have been watching Steven, you should definitely check this line out on perfumery.co.in. I'm putting the link below. There are a lot of variants in here. What I have covered right now are my favorite from the perfumer, from my favorite perfumer, and the next one I'll be covering would be from second perfumer, Chris Carbonell or Jorge Lee, whichever I pick up next. I mean, I'm experiencing them. There are around 28 to 30 variants. I'll be making like 5 to 6 videos like this. This is my first video. Stay tuned. I'm putting a discovery set of all these 5 scents in description below if you want to explore these 5. I'm making it simple for you guys because there are so many variants. You should go to it like perfumer by perfumer. Then only you'll be able to. What I love about Bertrand Duchaufour in this line especially, and the other ones, he plays with notes in a really mysterious ways. Like, you know, I was reading on Wikipedia, there was a term used like shadows. So what does shadows mean? When, you know, there is a transition between one note to another, the overlapping zone is like smooth. So that is like he is known to be an expert in working with shadows in perfume ingredients. So how intriguing is that? So these fragrances, you really won't stop sniffing after every hour because they transition so smoothly and they turn out to be completely different scent after like matter of 2 hours. So I'm completely amazed because this one is a straight freshy in the beginning, but after 4 hours mark it becomes like really nice sandalwood on my skin. So must check out Navitus Parfums now in India. It's Mohit. Check it out. See ya.